All right, let's cut through all the noise around AI search. It feels like you need a data science degree just to get your content noticed these days. But what if all that complexity is just a big distraction? What if there's a much simpler way to become the go-to source for AI? Let's dive in.
So, this is the big question on everyone's mind, right? Do you really need to understand all this complex math and vector databases just to get a citation in an AI-generated answer? It sounds super intimidating, but, well, the answer might actually surprise you. I mean, let's be real, it's been a bit of a chaotic ride so far. When AI search first rolled out, we got some truly wild suggestions. Remember the infamous advice to add non-toxic glue to pizza sauce? It was the perfect and frankly hilarious example of how these new systems could get things so wrong.
Right now, the whole industry is chasing these super complex solutions. But what if we're all missing the point? What if the real key to mastering this new world isn't about learning 1,000 new tricks, but about going back to one old fundamental principle of how search has always worked?
And this quote from David McSweeney, wow, it just captures the moment perfectly. When ChatGPT dropped, the SEO world, and let's be honest, the entire internet, basically went into a panic. Everybody started overthinking, overcomplicating, and pretty much forgetting the simple strategies that had been working for decades. It's like we went from a world we understood, one of reverse engineering and pattern matching, like a glass cabinet we could look into, to what now feels like a total black box, full of complex math and confusing jargon. Simplicity just got completely lost in the chaos. Okay, so let's strip it all back to basics. Because here's the thing, the golden rule of SEO, it hasn't changed, not one bit. It has always been about two very simple, very human things: spotting the patterns of what's working and then reverse engineering the process to match those patterns.
So it's really time we demystify this technology. These large language models, or LLMs, they aren't some kind of unknowable machine gods. When you get right down to it, they're actually something very familiar to anyone who's ever worked in search. Hey, and don't just take my word for it. Google itself describes an LLM as a model that finds patterns in human language. It's all about discovering the probability of relationships between words. That's the key word right there, probability. They're not magic, they're just gigantic pattern-matching machines. So here's a cool way to think about it. LLMs basically think by grouping related words and concepts into what you could call neighborhoods. So, wizard and wand live in the Hogwarts neighborhood, and taps and service live in the plumbing neighborhood. It's not magic, it's just association on a mind-boggling scale. By spotting these patterns across billions of documents, they learn what ideas belong together. And this right here is the big aha moment. Because the LLM has already analyzed all those patterns, it has essentially built a model of what we humans think is a great answer. It's like it already has an opinion baked in, a template, really, for what information belongs on a topic. The heavy lifting, the hard math to form that opinion, it's already done. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means our job isn't to do the math. Our job is to become detectives and find that hidden checklist. We just have to figure out the AI's pre-existing decision criteria for any given topic. Like David McSweeney says, the answer is literally in the answers the AI gives. But, and here's the spoiler, we've all been looking at the wrong ones. We've been staring at the final search results, when we should be digging into the underlying logic the AI uses to build them in the first place. Okay, so here it is, the actionable 5-step plan. It's actually pretty straightforward. First, you interrogate the model. You ask it questions, not for answers, but for its evaluation criteria. Second, you pull out all those specific criteria and put them in a list. Third, you get an LLM to help you clean up that list and see which criteria pop up the most. Fourth, you take a hard, honest look at your own content and find the gaps. And finally, number 5, you take all those key points and put them right at the very top of your page. So let's make this real. Here's what that checklist might actually look like for a search like Austin Plumber. See, the AI isn't looking for fuzzy terms like good service. No, it wants specifics. It's looking for a master plumber license number. It wants to see experience with local issues like slab leaks, and it prefers businesses that offer upfront pricing. These are the specific patterns it has learned to define a trustworthy plumber in that particular area. So why does this super simple plan actually work so well? I mean, it seems too easy, right? Well, it all boils down to one simple thing. You're making the AI's job incredibly easy. Okay, reason number one, you're basically gift wrapping a perfect fact-checked dossier for the AI. By putting everything from its own checklist right there at the top of your page, your content now perfectly matches its preconceived idea of what the best answer should look like. Reason number two, you are forcing the probability way, way up, almost to one. Think about it. If the AI has a checklist of, say, 10 items, and your page is the only one in the search results that clearly ticks all 10 of those boxes, you become the most probable, almost inevitable choice for it to cite. And reason number three, and this might be the most important one, you become the path of least resistance. These AIs are built to be computationally efficient. They don't want to scrape 10 different websites to piece together 10 different facts. When you give it everything it needs in one clean, easy-to-read package, you make its job easier. This final quote just nails it. By doing the AI's homework for it, you're not just giving it the best answer, you're giving it the easiest one. And in the world of computing, easy almost always wins. All right, so what's the big takeaway here? What do you need to remember from all this? It's really simple. Don't get lost in the jargon. Just match the patterns. This isn't some brand new, scary discipline. It's the core of what SEO has always been about. But hold on, before you run off and do this, there are a few really crucial ground rules we have to cover. First, you still have to rank in traditional search for any of this to matter. Second, this is all about surfacing genuine facts that you can actually claim. Don't just make stuff up. And maybe most important of all, always write for your human audience first, but structure it in a way that's easy for the machines to understand. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. When you use this approach, you're not trying to trick some complicated mathematical formula. You're just understanding the model's logic and giving it exactly what it's already looking for, cleanly and honestly. So are you gaming the math, or are you gaming the LLM with the truth?